Okay, so now that we have your attention, welcome to a behind-the-scenes peek at the new Demi Moore comedy Striptease, written, directed, and produced by Andrew Bergman and Mike Lobel. Striptease stars the multi-talented Burt Reynolds, Armand Asante, Robert Patrick, and of course some very outrageous ladies with some interesting talents of their own. In the next half hour, join the ladies of Striptease as they expose the inside story of the film Striptease and take a humorous look at the wild characters, the provocative dancing, the outrageous situations, and a host of other titillating delights. The tantalizing art of taking it all off probably started with the beginning of clothing itself. Certainly the first person to put clothes on eventually had to take them off. To find the beginning of modern striptease, you have to look way back to the middle 1800s and early 1900s, when a form of stage show known as burlesque took the country by storm. Burlesque would feature comedians, dancers, and other entertainers, all performing skits that were slightly risque in nature.
If I had your wiki, I'd raise the devil with your lucky.
These sexy stage shows were the real draw of burlesque. Men and women alike would travel from hundreds of miles away to watch the beautiful dancing girls, to hear the music, and to see the elaborate costumes, which sometimes consisted of very little to almost nothing at all. Strippers quickly realized the best way to keep them coming back was through the creation of unique acts and clever, never-seen-before gimmicks. For example, Gypsy Rose Lee engaged in risque banter with her audience as she'd remove articles of clothing.
I'm mentally computing just how much I'll give to charity.
Sally Rand used fans and feathers to tickle her audience's fancy. And the legendary Rosita Royce even went as far as training birds to help remove pieces of clothing. But that was then. And this is now. Today's strip clubs, gentlemen's clubs, and exotic dance palaces number in the thousands. Certainly the faces may have changed in the last 100 years, but the body of work, and how those bodies have to work, remains the same.
The music and costumes and all the imaging that goes into making it a show is very important. It's an illusion.
To use your music kind of like, like a symphony, bring people up, bring them down, kind of take them on a little journey with the music.
In order to make myself stick out, I really have to go out there and work hard and make myself known and go and talk to each guy.
I guess I'm more on the shyer type and wear like cutesy little outfits and friendly. I always have a smile on my face. So everyone has their own personality.
You can look like Cindy Crawford and come in here and do laps around the place. You have to be able to sell yourself, to let these guys think that you are better than the rest.
The film Striptease is a unique comedy that's as funny as it is sexy. The creative team of producer Mike Lobel and writer-director Andrew Bergman, the same team that brought you Honeymoon in Vegas and The Freshman, based their screenplay on an offbeat book by popular author Carl Hiaasen.
I've always wanted to do a book by Carl Hiaasen because it's just a wild sense of humor.
I got it. How about pasta wrestling?
Striptease was the first book of his that I saw you could really make a movie out of.
Look, Steven Spielberg's house. I wish he would come in here one night. I'm sure he would have big hearts for me.
Well, you turned his whole life around, girl.
He has a very similar sensibility to mine in terms of his sense of humor. It's a very antic sense of humor.
It's about a girl who loses her child to an ex-husband who's a real sleazo.
Your Honor, my ex-husband is addicted to pills, and he's a thief. Because of his arrest record, I just lost my job as a secretary for the FBI.
He was the finest high school tailback I ever saw.
It's her struggle to get the child back.
The husband makes a living stealing wheelchairs and other such hospital supplies.
Last stop, Lillian.
Daddy, you're mean.
Everest and Jennings, sweetheart. This here's the new model, the X12.
You're happy?
Oh, mucho happy.
She takes a job as a stripper to earn some money to get her child to pay for the court case. but it's very fun. The movie's going to be very rich. A lot of just wonderful characters.
Free Willy back yet?
Still out.
And many talented actors were brought in to play those colorful characters, like Burt Reynolds as sex-crazed Congressman Dave Dilbeck.
Poontang. The night is young and full of promise, my boy.
God has tested him because he cannot resist a naked woman.
You not touching me, girls?
Not this time, but you were recognized. Okay? Happy?
And he's a very good politician. I mean, he's a real down-home good old boy, you know.
Shalom, darling. Shalom to you. Shalom, shalom. Hey, Manischewitz.
He loves to go to striptease joints and stare. And he falls flat dead in love with Demi.
I met an angel. I would stop going to clubs. I would stop drinking. I would just lead a regular life, you know, with my wife, steady mistress, and I would have a decent life.
He's supported by some homicidal sugar barons. So various stiffs occasionally float up in the course of the movie. So there's that going on. It's a three-ring circus, this picture.
My brain is just turning to shit.
Hey, that's why you're in Congress!
The very handsome Armand Desante, who danced in the Mambo Kings and made us laugh in Fatal Instinct, brings law and order to the mix as Detective Al Garcia.
I play a homicide detective in Broward County, Florida. Al Garcia, who is on vacation when suddenly this very complicated case literally washes up on the lake that he's swimming in.
Of all the lakes, in all the counties, in all the world, you gotta float up in mine. You son of a bitch.
Thus begins the adventure that he has following a group of strippers around to find out the source of information that he needs to solve the case.
A dead snake.
That's not a snake, and it's an amazing belt.
A dead body.
There's a floater!
And a dead beat.
Hey there, partygoers.
Robert Patrick, famous for his role as Arnold Schwarzenegger's high-tech arch-nemesis in Terminator 2, is wild as Demi's maniacal ex-husband, Daryl.
Ow! I play Erin Grant.
What you think for once in your life?
At least I ain't naked. And he sort of thinks he's like a pretty smart guy. Get in! We're parked in a loading zone. We don't want to break the law. A lot of these characters are fringe characters in society. They're people we don't normally get to run into in society, and it's a very interesting world to be a part of.
What do you know about Prozac? Makes you happy. There's side effects.
Like what?
Limp noodle.
Who cares? I haven't had a hard-on since I started running this place.
People are pigs.
The man with the power drill and a pet monkey is Ving Rhames, who coincidentally appeared opposite Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction. But Demi and Ving have a slightly different relationship in Striptease. He may be a tough guy to some, but he's her guardian angel.
I have a kick your ass fetish. Chad is the bounce at the club.
Where have you been all night?
Doing my Christmas shopping early. Martha Stewart recommends it. He's a man who especially loves Demi Moore's character.
How do I look?
Better than me? That ain't easy. He makes it his business to not only protect her while in the club, but also in her life outside of the club.
You got Mrs. Grant?
No, I'm Barbara Bush.
Who is he?
George Bush.
I don't suppose you'd accept this appreciation.
No need. Senor Cucaracha here is gonna make me rich.
Oh, my God. That approach.
No, it's a fucking shrimp. Now move, you're in my life. He's just doing this until he can work out some great scheme in which he can make a lot of money. I would say there's something in this film for everyone.
And, of course, the whole story is endowed, in some cases well endowed, with the lovely women that give Striptease its good name and its good looks.
We were looking for girls, who didn't all look the same, all who were funny and had a specific personality, and who could dance, and were attractive. And so we've got a pretty good cross-section of real-looking women. I think we were very lucky.
I play Sabrina Hepburn. She doesn't take any mess from anybody, and she's real down to earth.
Also, Could you add Kenny G to your routine? Anything from his Christmas album.
That's sweet.
I play Monique Jr. and sort of the young one from the club. I think she's right out of high school and keeps seeing stars in the audience, and she name drops a lot. Larry King's at table 6.
What's he wearing?
Tank top and gold chains.
That's Larry, all right.
The whole environment is really exciting to her. Michael Jordan's at table 8.
I play Ariel Sharon, Israeli stripper, Israeli diva. I think I'm on the Broadway stage of Tel Aviv. I don't know. I'm in a little strip club in Fort Lauderdale. Look, Steven Spielberg's shower. Can you imagine me and him in that shower? Oh, that cute little beard. Yours or his?
God, it's 8 weeks, and I still get nauseous before I have to go out there.
You get over it. Urbana is the big buxom blonde in the movie that makes a great big statement. All the guys are down here, so you want to get here.
I know what you're thinking. How difficult could it really be dancing with a pole? Well, dancing takes on a whole new meaning when people are watching more than just your feet. That meant to me and the girls had to learn to choreograph from the feet up and practice those moves up to 5 hours a day.
I designed all of the choreography to really bring out the best of their abilities, and it really shows. They all look very natural and comfortable with what they're doing. Each girl looks different, and they should. They should all look like they either choreographed it themselves or had different choreographers.
Soul Train. That's my research. All my moves that I still do today. Soul Train. The cat is like really playful, but then there's also a fierceness to it and a sharpness to it, which is also me too. So it's like, you're gonna get something you're not. You want it, but you ain't having it. You know, that kind of thing.
No chance that I am going to roll around naked in creamed corn with a bunch of drunken yahoos trying to stick niblets up my hoo-ha.
Not naked, topless. Health department won't go for naked. Not with food products.
Preparing for the movie Striptease meant some interesting challenges for Demi as an actor. First, there's really not much to hide in a funky pair of go-go boots, so Demi was constantly working out. And second, she realized she'd never been to a strip bar and really knew very little about the world of stripping. It was time to go undercover. Demi developed the character of Erin by visiting the real women of Striptease.
Okay, so tell me, girls, waxing or shaving? Shaving. And what's the average tonight? You guys 4 a night? Wild. I like this. Shall we all try to get? Now, all
Demi, there's about 20 guys out there that want you to dance for them.
No, I'm not quite ready yet. How do you do that? Well, that I can't do. Well, you have to have your done stuff. This means you're dressed. Do you like my new outfit?
Put hairspray on it, and then it makes it stick all night. And then you put powder over it so it's not as shiny. Because it's not covered enough and you can see.
The subject of a movie, the subject of a special. Thousands of women perform it. For the women who do it and the men who watch it, what exactly is the draw to the world of stripping?
I've been dancing about 10 years, and the first time I decided to dance, I was really enthusiastic about it until I got on the stage, and my feet wouldn't move. Nothing moved. And by the end of the song, the manager's in the back waving his hand, going, take it off, and I'm like, no. At the very, very end, I finally gave him a little tiny peek.
I always thought that it would be something that I would like to do at least once. And I think that most women have that feeling because you know, you don't have to be an exhibitionist to do it. But I think that we all have that within ourselves to want to just get up there, feel that thrill, feel the excitement.
Up until that time, it was like a stripper like popped out of a cake, and you know, I had no idea, you know, what the whole business was about. And I walked in with a girlfriend who was dancing, and I just couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe that these girls were doing these things, and just the way that they moved their bodies, and it just seemed like another planet to me, like a whole other world. And I didn't ever think I'd, you know, have the guts to get up and do it, but we did.
They blow. when you're dancing, and I just can never figure out where that comes from. And there's quite a few times where I would go and ask the guy and say, why do you blow on me like that? You know, does it do something for you to blow on me like that?
One time a guy threw a $100 bill by mistake at me. He said, no, that's supposed to be a 5.
I think that I play therapists a lot. I think that a lot of them just want to come in and have a good time.
So I've had a few guys that have had crushes on me. You just have to be friendly and talk to them and let them know that this is your job.
I'm a nurse now, and that's something that people here in this club don't expect you to be. They don't expect you to be in the medical field. They see you as a dancer, period.
I go to school. I have 2 degrees. I'm well educated, you know, and I think that it takes all kinds to do anything. But I think that the important thing now is that whatever you do, you should do it the best of your ability.
It's become such a phenomenon in the last 10 years that strip clubs are a place where people go now. And you see very successful young guys in suits and ties and women going to strip clubs, having a good time.
Now it's yuppie entertainment. It's white collar, it's high class. Men are allowed to go to strip bars. And so I think more young women are entering it as a profession, and they're proud to have it as their profession.
They're real people. They, come from all walks of life. Some are educated, some are not. They're just doing what they think they have to do to make a living and to get ahead in this world.
And there you have it. It's sexy, it's sensual, and it can be funny. It's the world of striptease, the most revealing form of self-expression. Now, you may be saying to yourself, there's no way I would ever take my clothes off in front of hundreds of people. I don't even like public speaking. Well, just remember, we're all naked underneath. And as long as there are men and women out there who enjoy a good tease, there'll be strippers ready to please.
You can go home, baby.
My ex-husband is a thief. It hardly qualifies him to raise a 7-year-old child.
Neither does being a mother without a job.
Erin wants to get something off her chest.
I can't be working here when I go back to court. Oh, yes, Your Honor. I found a new job. I'm working at the Eager Beaver.
To get her daughter back, she'll fight with most unconventional methods.
I love naked women. It's character flaw.
Demi Moore and Burt Reynolds star in an uninhibited comedy.
Cream corn wrestling. You go into the corn. You set a great example to the other girls.
No.
Striptease. Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock on Showtime.